So enjoy the ride.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah. Let's go. Go get it.
Show me. I learned from Dom, so you know I'm getting my belt back.
This is the Schmo with the Pro, the former WEC and UFC Bantamweight champion of the world. He's the future Hall of Famer. He's the UFC color commentator. He's Dominick Cruz, the Dominator in the flesh, Las Vegas. How we doing?
Really good. You kind of caught me off guard. I'm not going to lie. You shook me a little with your entrance. It was nice, man. You got a gift.
You're always on your toes.
Yeah, you're good at it.
Appreciate that. Has it fully settled in yet that you're officially a retired fighter?
I think it comes and goes, right? Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. I think the biggest thing is right when you think you're not doing enough, you remember, yeah, I'm not competing, so now I'm doing plenty, maybe even more than enough.
How are you satisfying the itch to compete?
Yeah, that never really goes away, so you just, I just keep the same schedule, and then I live vicariously through other athletes. So I'm working with other athletes, watching them be great, and winning through them.
You're always doing a great job on the broadcast. The Schmo's got to ask you, last week, fight night in Seattle, Henry Cejudo Song Yadong. It had to go to the judges' scorecards. We had the eye poke. After everything's unfolded, what do you make of the situation? Jason Herzog, the referee, Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo's upset about the eye poke. How do you feel about the situation?
I mean, it's kind of ironic because that's how I felt with our fight. It's like I felt like the referee was the issue. I did my whole job, which was to stand up, get to my feet, and keep the fight going. And the referee took the fight from me. So I get how he feels, I guess is the best way to put it. I feel you. And just want to remind him he retired and chose not to give me any kind of rematch. So maybe that's what he's going to be feeling too. Who knows?
You still feel like you got to get that fight back? I know you're retired. Are you completely satisfied after seeing how it unfolded last week and seeing the irony of the situation, Dominic?
Well, I retired because, my shoulder told me where I needed to be, and I'm very, at closure with that. But, yeah, it's not like I'm friends with Henry Cejudo. I don't hate the guy, but, yeah, I'd squabble him outside in the parking lot. That's always kind of how it is, but it's all good. I'll stay professional. I wouldn't get anybody in trouble. But, the guy's still fighting. He says he still wants to fight. My only point is he didn't give me the rematch. I don't know if Sedong will. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's an eye poke. This happens in the sport. I don't think anybody's doing it on purpose, I guess is the best thing I could say. I don't think anybody's trying to poke in the eyes. I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody's doing that on purpose. I think it happens and it's part of the sport, for real.
Do you want to see any changes to avoid this as part of the sport, or you're content with this being part of the sport?
No, it's just part of it. Groin shots happen. They're not nice, but they happen. It's just part of the sport.
Oh, we got Jamahal with the whole list of groceries right there.
What's up, Hill?
There he is. He's got a big fight coming up there, too.
Always does.
Khalil Rountree.
It's a fun one.
It is a fun one.
I love that matchup because Hill's got that southpaw stance. He's really good with the range, and now that he's been back in the crook of things after the injury, I think he's going to have some momentum. Even though it was a loss, I think we saw Khalil lost too, so that matches up momentum-wise. But I think being off the injury and now that he's training consistently, we're going to see a new Hill. And obviously, we know that his opponent is also training hard.
That's right. He's got some great things to say about you, Jamahal.
Always.
Some great things.
That's nothing but love. I appreciate you always. We don't talk. It's a huge inspiration to me coming in, my game and everything like that, bro. Looked up, lit the way for a lot of guys, me included. So always love and appreciate. I appreciate everything and the love, blood, sweat, tears, everything you poured into the game, brother. Thank you.
You guys win, man. I'll be watching you guys and living vicariously through you. So enjoy the ride.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah. Let's go. Go get it.
Show me. I learned from Dom, so you know I'm getting my belt back.
Hey, he's got some great footwork, too.
Come back from injury, get my belt back.
There it is.
Sweet
Sweet Dreams Nation.
Got the momentum going. We're going to see where it goes, Enjoy, bro. Hit me up.
There it is. Look at that timing right there.
Guy.
Great guy indeed.
Of course.
Speaking of a great guy, someone that you've had a great rivalry with, Urijah Faber. The Schmo met up with him a couple weeks ago.
Saw that.
Told us about that story, about when you two were having the rivalry, going down to the base in San Diego.
We got put in a very strange situation. There was like a mix-up with the UFC PR team or something. They put us in this San Diego like military program where we were supposed to go do an appearance. It turns out we spent like 6 hours working as a team, you know, celebrating the fallen troops and having to like put all our differences aside for a bigger picture. It was kind of a strange time, but we like let our guard down for a second, and then a couple days later back to enemies.
But hey, he's got the itch to return. I guess he was in the GFL. He was drafted. Do you want to see Urijah Faber compete?
Why not?
He retired already.
Yeah, I mean, he retired, but you see it with Cerrone too. You know, that like you're talking about the itch, right? I guess the question is that the itch? Does it ever go away? Or do we find a way to fill it without having to fight? I don't know. But Faber wants to get back in there. He must think he's ready, so let him go do it.
If you were playing matchmaker, who would you match up against Merab Dvalishvili next in the Bantamweight division? Is it the Sugar Sean O'Malley rematch, or is it something else?
No, that's good for the division. O'Malley's good for the division with the way that people follow him. And he's doing the homework outside of the fight, which is the podcast, the YouTube stuff. It really does bring a lot of eyes to him. So I think that brings eyes to the division as a whole. And Merab, obviously, with his fighting alone, steps up to the plate. The way that he's been consistently winning against the top competition in the division, pretty much cleaned it out. So he gets this money fight with O'Malley. O'Malley gets the money fight because he's doing the work outside of the octagon while he's training. I know what that looks like. It's media work mixed with training is a whole nother level. And I think that a lot of the fighters are catching on to that, and it's going to keep growing. But the division is growing fast because of guys like O'Malley and thankfully guys like the champ, Dvalishvili, who's representing as a champion the division really well.
And where would you put him on the pound-for-pound list right now at this moment?
It's a good question. I'd have to see, like I'm a visual guy, I'd have to see the layout of the list. But who's the top 5 right now? I know we've got Makhachev at the top.
We got John Jones up there.
Tom Jones. Who else?
Assuming Ilya Taporia is somewhere up there.
Three. Okay.
Is he ahead of any of those guys?
No, I wouldn't say not.
Alex Pereira?
I would put him over. No, I'd say right behind Pereira, because Pereira has been the thing that's most impressive to me about Pereira was his loss. He got knocked out by Adesanya, and then what he's done after. It's like he didn't even blink.
Yeah.
He lost that fight, got knocked out. Wasn't just like it was a good knockout. That's hard on the body, hard on the mind, right? Just in general for the damage. But he just got right back on the horse and started championshipping.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to watch. So I put him there, and I think it's safe to put Merab around right behind him. What, number 5?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Hey, double-digit win streak. Obviously, he's doing big things in your former division. As someone who's had some of the best footwork to ever step inside the octagon, who's on your pound-for-pound list right now for best footwork inside the octagon, or at least somebody you enjoy watching the most?
Number 1, Lomachenko.
Different sport, but still combat. Boxing, okay.
Yeah, you said who. You didn't say what sport. Right?
Okay, let's go UFC.
In the UFC, best footwork in the UFC right now. Well, I'll talk about Manal Cape. We'll say Cape. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Big main event for him tomorrow night with you on the broadcast.
I mean, if you watch his footwork, it's high level stuff because it's not only just switching. Also, Dricus, I know he says he doesn't have footwork, but these guys that are switching stance at all, that is footwork. If you could switch stance and fight righty, and you could switch stance and fight lefty and back and forth, and then you're mixing the fill in the gaps in between that with defense, you have good footwork, no matter what anybody says. So Manal Cape does that. So does Dricus. Those are two that are working their way to the top and at the top. So those are just two on example that I think everybody's seen that it might not always look the way you think footwork is supposed to look, but like I said, when you can fight in both stances and you can move in and out, forward and back, you can close distance. That's some of the hardest stuff to do. That's the most important stuff to do. Those guys are making it happen. And also, Dricus and Cape don't fight on center lines. They both can fight backwards. They kind of create angles side to side, running next to the center line. And that takes footwork. It takes also just fight IQ. They're very, very smart.
You got a birthday coming up. Pisces gang right here. Any big birthday plans?
You're Pisces too?
That's right.
Oh man, what a guy. Who would have thunk? What's your birthday?
March 13th, 4 days after yours.
13 is my lucky number, too. See, no wonder we get along, buddy. I'm 9th. What are you going to do for your birthday?
Don't know yet.
I'm working.
The Schmo's always working. That's out of question. Are we talking about celebration-wise? Are we talking about birthday cake? We talking about,
I'll be here, though. Okay. I'll actually be here. I guess my birthday's on a Sunday. So after that, maybe a birthday cake, maybe Six Flags, Magic Mountain.
You're a big roller coaster guy.
Oh, I love Six Flags. It takes me back to being a kid again.
That's right. Are you more of a looper or are you more of a drop guy?
I don't like the drop. That's a good question, too. Yeah, I'd rather the loops. The drop's cool for a little, but there's that one, Lex Luthor. I don't like that one. That drop is...
So you like the corkscrews and the loops?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the stuff that rattles your brain a little bit, though.
Yeah, that's what they say, but maybe that's how I'm getting it. Maybe that's how I'm getting it.
You know a thing or two about that.
Yeah. Getting their brain rattled, unfortunately, has been something I've learned to adapt to.
But you do a good job holding your own these days.
Thank you.
Can we get a final message for all the Dominator fans out there worldwide on this beautiful Sin City day?
Cruise with me in the podcast, guys. I'll be there. I would love to have you there, picking my brain, me giving you what's going on in my brain for the fights, and just cool people. I'll get to talk to a lot of cool people like the Schmo moving forward.
Hey, we're going to be on it?
I hope so.
All right.
Let's make you one of the guests, buddy. But we got to see you out of character and in character so that everybody gets to see the contrast of what I deal with. Because I'll tell you what, the Schmo and the real guy, very fun to see the difference. It'll snap you into reality when he turns into the Schmo. Because the guy that's not the Schmo, the you behind the Schmo, very calm, cool, collected, family man, totally different. Be interesting to talk to him.
What is this guy talking about? He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. Here outside the UFC. Las Vegas, we're out.